Good morning. Welcome back to Bookeemonsters. My name is PK. It is Tuesday, April the 22nd. We're here to look at the new releases that have been published this week, and on Tuesdays we look at crime fiction and thrillers. Hope you are having a good day. Quick announcements. I do have sprints tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern. They go for 2.5 hours. We do every Tuesday and Thursday evenings and Saturday afternoons. Good morning, Elena. She says, good morning. Hope you're doing good. And she says, I am good. Oh, good. I just finished my book yesterday afternoon, and yesterday afternoon I had In-N-Out for lunch. Oh, and it was delicious, and it was tasty. You should try their new fast food places. We don't have an In-N-Out burger in Montana. We don't have one in my town, Billings, but I hear they are very, very good. I'm glad you could have it. Well, let us jump into crime fiction and thrillers. First up, Killer Convergence by Lee Clark, 7th in the Matthew Paine mysteries. They lied about everything. He won't stop until he gets to the truth. 22 years ago, they said it was a murder-suicide. They lied. It was just murder. They assassinated his parents as a warning, and now Detective Warren Danbury will stop at nothing to uncover who annihilated his family and destroyed their reputation. As young physician Matthew Paine assists his close friend Danbury to tenaciously re-examine these murders, evidence goes missing, memories can't be trusted, and witnesses start turning up dead. Paine and Danbury race against the clock to uncover the conspiracy that has not only survived for more than 2 decades, but grown in power and violence over time. The key to unlocking this deadly scheme and learning the truth about the murder of Danbury's parents, Kenya. Now, past and present, truth and lies and murder all collide in a deadly, action-packed climax that finally answers the 2 questions that have haunted Danbury for 22 years. Who murdered his parents and why? Good morning, Mary. Happy Tuesday. Off to the races with thrillers. Indeed. The darker side. Every sweet thing is bitter. Okay, by Samantha Cruson. No, it's not. Not if you're talking. I don't know. 13 years ago, Providence Bird threw the family car in reverse and ran over her mother. Even though her mother survived, that single instant of teenage madness made Providence a felon and irrevocably altered her life. Well, it should. When her mother disappears years later under suspicious circumstances, Providence tells herself that returning home is her chance to find closure after a prolonged estrangement from her family. Never mind that this is only half of the truth. She's also returning to finally confront her abusive father, Tom Bird. Nothing can stamp out Providence's certainty that he is guilty of whatever terrible thing has happened to her mother. As the search unfolds, Providence is haunted by the wounds of her past, none of which cut as deeply as the distance between her and her younger sisters. Harmony and Grace are both uniquely scarred by her attempted matricide, and both have their own idea of what reconciliations might look like, if reconciling is even possible. Harmony urges Providence to make their father pay for his sins. Grace begs her to end the cycle of violence that has haunted their family for generations. As her thirst for vengeance collides with her desire to heal her relationships with her sisters, Providence must decide which she values more, revenge or redemption. Fair Play by Louise Hegarty. Good morning, Kim. Woke up yesterday for cozies, turned the alarm off, and fell right back to sleep. That sounds very nice. Elena says hello to Mary. And hello to Kim. Mary says hi to Kim. Kim says doctor's appointment at 10 today and then probably early lunch. It's Tuesday. Do you get to have your good lunch? Kim says, hey, Elena and Mary. Mary says, good luck at the doctor's. Indeed. Elena says, I think it's called The Expats by Chris Pavone. I've heard of that book. And he's a good writer. A group of friends gather at an Airbnb on New Year's Eve. It is Benjamin's birthday, and his sister Abigail is throwing him a jazz-age murder mystery themed party. As the night plays out, champagne is drunk, hors d'oeuvres consumed, and relationships forged, consolidated, or frayed. Someone kisses the wrong person, someone else's heart is broken. In the morning, all of them wake up, except Benjamin. As Abigail attempts to wrap her mind around her brother's death, an eminent detective arrives determined to find Benjamin's killer. In this mansion, suddenly complete with a butler, gardener, and housekeeper, everyone, how do they suddenly get complete with these people? Everyone is a suspect and nothing is quite as it seems. Will the culprit be revealed? And how can Abigail, now alone, piece herself back together in the wake of this loss? All right. Murder Between Friends by Liz Lawson. Grace, Henry, and Allie grew up together on the same block. They used to be best friends until Grace's testimony put Henry's brother Jake away for killing their English teacher. Now, 2 years later, Allie and Henry hate Grace, and Grace is doubting what she thinks she saw that night. It feels like everyone's getting a second chance then when, due to a mistrial, Jake is suddenly released. And Henry knows his brother is innocent, but when Grace reaches out to say she's rethinking what she saw the night of the murder, Jake's reaction is confusing. He doesn't want Henry or Grace getting involved. For Allie, not getting involved isn't an option, and there's nothing Grace can say to convince Allie she's not the enemy. But can Allie afford to push Grace out when she's one of the only other people willing to believe in Jake's innocence? The clock is ticking. Jake's new trial date is about to be set, and he's sure to be found guilty again unless there's new evidence to prove he's innocent. Grace, Henry, and Allie are going to have to decide whether you can trust an old friend now that they're your enemy. End of row one. And Kim says, yes. Yay. Missed the meteor shower last night. Too many clouds to see anything. Was disappointed. Yeah, it rained overnight. We didn't have viewing at all. I love watching for those things. Kim says, thanks, Mary. Just normal 3+ month follow-up. Social Security Disability is sending me for some appointments over the next few weeks. The Shadow Girls by Nina Lauren. Georgina Prescott's world collapses when her daughter, star dancer at a prestigious ballet academy, is grounded by a metatarsal fracture, the same injury that ended Georgina's own career 2 decades prior. And one person knows what happened, Naomi Thompson, Anna's best friend, who takes over the principal role. Dawn Thompson is proud of her daughter, but suddenly ugly rumors course through the close-knit ballet community saying that Naomi somehow caused Anna to fall and hurt herself. But Naomi would never do such a thing, would she? While Georgina grows obsessed with Naomi, Dawn wonders just how far a mother should go to protect her daughter. Then Anna receives an anonymous letter telling her to keep her mouth shut and vanishes without a trace. Blood on the Vine by J.T. Falco. Mary says, very excited to see an Anne Hillerman novel coming up. Indeed. I'm a huge fan of the Hillermans, especially her dad, even though he's gone to the great hunting grounds. Indeed, she is very good too. She learned from the best. Lana Burrell grew up on an idyllic Napa Valley vineyard with her best friend Jess until Jess mysteriously disappeared and Lana's father was falsely accused of her murder. This seems to be the theme this week. Over 20 years later, he's still serving a life sentence, but Lana knows he's innocent just like she knows Jess's real killer is still out there. Now, as a seasoned FBI agent in the San Francisco field office, Lana figures she can handle just about anything until a killer strikes the valley again and those old wounds come bursting open. Two women are slain in ritualistic fashion near the vineyard she once called home, and Lana has no choice but to revisit the site of the nightmarish past she tried to leave behind, a past that seems to be repeating itself as the blood and wine continue to spill all over Napa Valley. With rumors of a dangerous cult embedded at the center of wine country, the most powerful family in the valley breathing down her neck, and the mysterious stranger stalking her every move, Lana's quest to solve the murders takes an even darker turn when she soon realizes the awful truth. She might be the next to die. ... Lee Goldberg has a new one. This is third in his Sharp and Walker series. He has several. This is called Hidden in Smoke. After dozens of Hollywood apartment buildings erupt in flames during a single night of terror, arson investigators Walter Sharp and Andrew Walker are assigned to catch the serial torturer and end his spree. But then a catastrophic fire destroys a major freeway, crippling the city and forcing Sharp and Walker to take on another massive case. Desperate for help, they know exactly who to call: homicide detectives Eve Ronan and Duncan Pavone. Together, the four detectives must quickly figure out whether the freeway disaster was a tragic accident or the work of a mastermind with a horrific plan. As the investigations collide, an old foe with a revenge scheme enters the fray, igniting a race against time to stop a conspiracy of deception, corruption, and murder. In the Beautiful Dark by Melissa Payne. At Sunny Pines Retirement Community, where the 62 and better share their golden years, secrets abound. Some scandalous, some haunting, and some dangerous. For Bertie Allen, a retired business owner and grandmother, her secret is the only thing she's got left. Getting old isn't the hardest part about life. It's the memories from more than 50 years ago of the death of her unrequited love, and Bertie's abandoned quest to root out the killer. With retirement comes a lot of time to revisit old ghosts, so when Bertie ties together a string of recent murders and a woman disappears, she's drawn into the same chase she gave up decades earlier. But this time she has the help of an eccentric community of eager new friends, and they're not alone. Restless souls are watching, including Bertie's lost love, and they sense the danger that lies ahead. They're not leaving Bertie's side until she finishes what she set out to do. But will Bertie's pursuit of a killer finally free her of regrets and allow her to embrace the beauty of the life she's created? Maybe. End of that row. Mary says, hope to get to the library today. The massage was canceled. Oh, shoot, and rescheduled for tomorrow, so worked around the house. Well, dang it. Well, at least you have that to look forward to this week for tomorrow. And going to the library. Yay. Brad Taylor has a new one. This is 19th in the Pike Logan series, Into the Gray Zone. While on a routine security assessment in India, Task Force operator Pike Logan foils an attempted attack on a meeting between the CIA and India's intelligence service. Both government agencies believe it's nothing more than a minor terrorist attack, but Pike suspects that something much more sinister is at play. After another terrorist operation at the Taj Mahal, he begins to believe that outside powers are attacking India in the gray zone between peace and war, leveraging terrorist groups for nothing more than economic gain. But the separatists conducting the operations have their own agenda. After a massive slaughter and kidnapping of hostages during an elaborate Indian pre-wedding party, two global powers are destabilized, and only Pike Logan and his team can de-escalate the tension by rescuing the captives. What follows is a race against the clock that winds through the bustling markets of Old Delhi, the luxurious resorts of Goa, the epic halls of the Taj Mahal. It will take everything that Logan and Task Force have to foil an intricate plot that leaves countless lives in balance. Very good series if you're looking for Spy versus Spy in September. And here we are, the Ann Hillerman that Mary was spotting. Oops, stay, sit. Shadow of the Solstice, 28th in the Leap Horn Chi and Manuelito series. The Navajo Nation police are on high alert when a U.S. cabinet secretary schedules an unprecedented trip to the little Navajo town of Shiprock, New Mexico. The visit coincides with a plan to resume uranium mining along the Navajo Nation border. Tensions around the official's arrival escalate when the body of a stranger is found in an area restricted for the disposal of radioactive uranium waste. Is it coincidence that a cult with a propensity for violence arrives at a private camp group outside Shiprock the same week to celebrate the summer solstice? When the outsiders' erratic behavior makes their Navajo hosts uneasy, Officer Bernadette Manuelito is assigned to monitor the situation. She finds a young boy at grave risk, abused women, and other shocking discoveries that plunge her and Lieutenant Jim Chi into a volatile and deadly situation. Meanwhile, Darlene Manuelito, Bernie's high-spirited young sister, learns one of her home health clients is gone, and the woman's daughter doesn't seem to care. Darlene's curiosity and sense of duty combine to lead her to discover that the client's grandson is also missing and that the two have become ensnared in a wickedly complex scheme exploiting indigenous people. Darlene's information meshes with a case Chi has begun to solve that deals with the evil underside of human nature. Two more to go. The Other Sister by Jessica R. Patch. She thought she was the only one lying about her identity until she stepped into her sister's life. Charlotte Kane has always dreamed of a different life, one where she isn't living paycheck to paycheck, an existence worlds away from the chaos of her own. Then her estranged mother dies and Charlotte makes a stunning discovery. She has an identical twin who was given up for adoption. Aislinn Benedict is polished, successful, and seems to have everything Charlotte yearns for. A wealthy, doting family in Savannah, a handsome boyfriend, a great career. She's just as surprised as Charlotte to learn she has a sister. But when tragedy hits and Charlotte is forced to assume Aislinn's identity in a desperate moment, she uncovers something altogether darker. No one in her sister's life is quite who they seem to be, and every discovery leads Charlotte deeper into a web of deadly secrets. Charlotte may have wanted Aislinn's life, yet now that she's living it, she wants out. But if she reveals the truth about herself, it will mean returning to her old life, and she's already a dead woman there. I apologize, I didn't click on it. We'll give it a minute here. Last one for today. Kind of a light week today, this week. Kim says, I picked up a Susan Branch book yesterday, only one the library has. Put several Gladys Tabor books on hold at our semi-statewide library, and several Susan Branch books on my list. Looks like you're planning your TBR. Elena, I have to get going now. Thanks so much. See you tomorrow morning, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. You have a good day, Elena. Thank you so much. I hope you have a very good day. Mary, the Other Sister sounds pretty good. Kind of interesting. Mary says, bye, Elena. Have a great day. Wicked. Twisted Truths, book number 2 by Maggie Giles. Detective Ryan Boone just can't let this case go. While the mystery behind the robbery and murders in Twisted was uncovered a few months back, there is still a very large loose thread that Boone desperately wishes to tie up. He convinces his superiors to allow him to travel to Ottawa, where he's uncovered a lead into a conspiracy that hints what happened in Toronto has nationwide and horrific implications. Former detective Cora Porter has moved to forensics, but when a strange case involving a murder a runaway, and a case of mistaken identity hits close to home, she squeezes her way into the investigation. It also doesn't help that a certain visiting detective has caught her eye and is also willing to work with her on the case. Their suspect, Blaine Roach, always seems to be one step ahead of Ryan and Cora. What they don't know is that he's not just trying to evade arrest, but take down the conspiracy for his own purposes. Given he's already a wanted man, Blaine is willing to do whatever it takes to get revenge. He has nothing else to lose, or so he thinks. Dot, 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 dot. And those are the darker side, the crime fiction and thrillers being published this week. I try to be comprehensive, but it cannot be. So some things probably slip through the cracks, but this gives you an idea. Tomorrow we'll be looking at romance. Love. Love is tomorrow. Again, wrong one. I do have sprints tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern. They go for 2.5 hours. Bring your own book, work on a project, be creative, do a hobby, or just close your eyes after having a tough day. Whatever it is that is your self-care, this is just the time and space carved out for that. I just create the ambiance for you to do whatever it is that makes you happy in your happy place. Here it sounded like there were several there to pick from. More my cup of tea. Yeah, I don't know what I'm in the mood for. I might be in the mood for some Spy versus Spy. That one kind of intrigued me. Alrighty. Well, thank you guys so much for being here this morning. I appreciate you getting up so early and watching. And if you're watching it later, thank you so much for watching later. I like to know what's being published so I can either find new authors or new books that I've maybe not discovered before and might be my next favorite book. You never know. And you never know what's out there until you look. And I provide the looking. So I do it anyway, and I just like to share it. I was going to open your surprise. Oh, cool. I wasn't able to tune in much yesterday. Our service manager is out again all this week. So, wearing multiple hats. All right. Thank you, guys. I'll have to rewatch that. Thank you, Mary, for letting me know. And I hope to see you soon. Be safe. Be safe. Read good books. And as the banner says, don't be a bookworm, be a bookie monster. Om nom nom. Have a good day. God bless.